Hello, this is Ariel Les, and thank you for visiting my channel. Okay, so today I have done an artwork on someone who does not want to listen to you. Pretty much. So I'm going to talk about arguing, because why not? I mean, you're just going to sit here and watch my art, and maybe you just watching the video because you just want to hear people talk. So I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk a lot. Well, anyway, so this art is about someone who says they're listening, but they are not really listening. So as you can see, I'm pretty much just going to explain it because usually I leave it open-ended, but why not explain it? I have time. So anyway, so this woman's like in a business suit, and she's pointing towards her ears, but her ears are not in her head, as you can see. They're actually the butterflies, like the bug part of the butterfly is her ears. So her ears are kind of flown away, like she's not listening, and she's sitting on these books which represent facts. So she has all this information that she has learned and curated throughout her whole life, and that's what she's going to go off of, and she does not care what you say. Now, chances are you will meet one of these people in your life. As a matter of fact, you probably are one of them. And here's the truth. It doesn't matter what anyone tells you. You are not going to change your mind. And this specific person, it doesn't matter what you say to them. They will not change their mind. Even if they have nothing left to say in an argument, their mind is set that, like, hey, like, this is my opinion. I don't care what your opinion is. Your opinion could be anything, very factual. As a matter of fact, I just don't care. It doesn't matter what you say to me. I'm not going to listen to you. That's just the way people are. So the question for you then is it worth it to still continue to tell these people how you feel, what you think? Or is it just a point where you should just be like, okay, bye, And the truth is most of the time, I'm going to say it's probably good to say, okay, bye, because you're not going to convince them. I don't know what people think when they're talking to people and they don't agree with them. Like, do you really think you're going to change their mind by continuing to argue with them? You're not. So you're actually not producing anything good. That's what you have to think about when you're talking to someone like this. People just continue to argue with them for pride, but the truth is it logical to argue? No. I mean, yes, you may feel better, you might feel justified, but it actually produces nothing good. As a matter of fact, your blood pressure goes up, and they say that stress from arguments leads to an early death. So, I mean, unless you want to die, I mean, I don't know. I kind of want to live. So, I mean, you're putting yourself in the grave. Okay, maybe not like that, but still, it's not good. Could lead to early death if you argue enough. So, you might want to watch it. So maybe you want to think about that. It's not actually healthy to argue. It's not good to argue. And that person, you're just making them angry. So you are just producing anger out of this person, and that's just not good. I mean, you're just not doing anything good. You are destroying a relationship with someone. And the question is it worth it to destroy this relationship with this person just to prove your point, even though they're never going to listen to your point? No, it's just not, okay? Let's be honest here. So some people, it's just not worth it to waste your breath on. The Bible describes arguments, right? I believe this is in Proverbs, and I can't remember exactly where this verse is, but you can look it up on Google. Just look up the words, and usually it will come. That's why I do when I don't know where it's found. But the Bible verse says, a soft answer turns away wrath, but, grievous words stir up anger. And that's really where you want to be careful in argument. That's something I always think about when I am arguing with someone, which I don't usually argue too much, but when I do, I definitely keep this in mind. Be careful about what you say. Don't be like, you're an idiot. Because that's when that person's like, I'm an idiot. Well, that's when it just goes out of hand. It's when you say a grievous word. Remember that. Be careful what you say in your anger. See, the Bible also says, I believe this is Ephesians or Colossians. I know, I don't know where any of this is found. I should have written down. I should be more prepared. I'm sorry. But it says in Ephesians or Colossians or somewhere over there in the New Testament, it says, in your anger, do not sin. It's like, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to have your point and be justified, but don't go and be like, this is my point, you suck, and I don't like you, and be angry. And, don't sin in your anger. Don't, like, slap someone because you're angry, because that's just not good. It's only going to lead you down a bad path. So, I mean, you have to think about that when you're arguing with someone. And when you encounter this person, this is just basic life advice. When you encounter someone, your point may seem very good to you and maybe all this and that, but the truth is it really worth it? That's what you have to ask yourself. When you're in the YouTube comments and you're a vegan and you see that there's a terrible meat eater, okay, and they said, I love to eat some of that turkey. and you just ignite in flames. You're like, you are a horrible person. You are a murderer, right? So you type down your sentences and you say you're an idiot, you're unstudied, you're unhealthy, you're fat. You just type down all these words in the comment section. The next thing you know, it's 1 a.m. at night. You've been arguing for 5 hours about this, and the person still doesn't agree with you, and you don't agree with them. So really, what have you accomplished? That's what arguing leads to. And you have to be careful what you do in that moment. Now, of course, there will be moments where like arguing can actually be beneficial. See, here's the thing. Even if you're talking to someone who will never agree with you, like this girl here, her ears are flown away, she's on her back, she doesn't care about what you have to say. But even with that, there can be actual good. And believe it or not, that's when you have the chance to learn. I know, right? You could actually learn something from someone else. Now, here's what's interesting. Even if you don't agree and your opinion is not going to change, you're talking to someone whose opinion is not going to change, you can still learn something about other people, which will later help you communicate with people who are like them and handle the situation better. So if you are talking to someone and you are disagreeing or arguing, you can learn things. So we'll go back to the vegan and the meat eater, right? So the meat eater says, so we go hunting at this spot and this and that, and this is why we hunt, and it's like a family thing. So then you learn as a vegan, like if you're out protesting or, like, I don't know, spreading awareness, then you know that this is what people like to do. They like to do as families. Well, maybe then you should explain people, like, with families, like these animals have families or something, I don't know. Like, you want to eat their families, but you go with families. You enjoy your family bonding, so maybe you should not disrupt their family bonding. I don't know. I'm not vegan, so I'm sure a real vegan would have a lot better of an argument than me. But, like that, you can get information. It's good to have information for someone who you don't agree with. Like, I'm a Christian, so actually talking to an atheist, even though it can be a little bit tiresome, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it can be tiresome. There's a lot I can learn, like, about how atheists feel. Like, why are atheists atheists? Like, why do they not believe in God at all? Why do they disown God? Like, why are they so against God? There's a lot I can learn from talking to an atheist, because an atheist will give me differing opinions that I don't think of, because I don't really talk to a lot of atheists all the time. I'm in my church. That's where a lot of my social group is, at my church. So it's good sometimes when I run into an atheist to talk to them and learn the differing opinion. Of course, respectfully. Not saying anything mean, not saying, like, you're immoral and this and that. Just having a chit chat, learning what they think differently, respecting their opinion. And it's not because I think that's the way they should live, because I definitely don't. It's not like I'm not going to tell them, hey, I think the way you live is kind of wrong. I can tell them that too, but I'm going to say, hey, maybe you should come to know the Lord. That's good. Like, that's, respectfully. Respecting their opinion so that they'll respect yours. People will be a lot nicer to you when you have a differing opinion if you are nice to them. Remember, respect is a two-way street. And if you are a Christian, I don't know how many Christian viewers I have, remember that God honors you when you are respectful to other people, because that's the way God wants you to be for the most part. He doesn't want you to be angry and kicking everything all the time. I mean, I'm not going to say that there's moments where you shouldn't be angry, when you shouldn't stand up for yourself, but there should also be moments where you are calm and humble. So I think that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching. You have a great day, and God bless.